begins with three friends, Alex, Victor, Gree, and Ryan. For the first time after university, the three had set out on a trip. Alex always used to say, "Mate, a little adventure is necessary in life. Otherwise, what memories will we make?" Their plan was to spend the weekend in a remote hamlet in the Scottish Highlands called Glenmoor Vale. Very few people knew about that place. Even on the internet, there were just 2 or 3 photos. A misty loch, dense pine forests, and nestled between them, an old Serena lodge. At 8 p.m., when their car reached the winding track into that vale, there was a biting chill in the air. The sky was cloaked in low clouds. An old white Land Rover was slowly climbing the rugged hillside. The headlights cut through the har, barely visible a few feet ahead. The track was narrow. On one side, a sheer drop, on the other, thick woodland. Inside the car were the 3 friends. Alex was driving. His eyes were glued to the track, but his face looked weary. Victor was in the back, peering out at the black silhouettes of the trees. Ryan had his phone torch on because the mist outside was so thick that even the headlights seemed useless. "Mate, is this really the right way?" Ryan asked in a tired voice. Alex replied without looking away, "Scared already? Google Maps says this, just a bit further up." Victor chuckled faintly. What if this Google Maps sends us straight over the cliff into the glen? The car pressed on, and gradually the mist thickened. The path was now stony. Pebbles crunched under the tires. Pine branches swayed in the wind and occasionally scraped the windows. Inside the car, silence reigned. Only the low drone of the engine and their breathing could be heard. About 10 minutes later, an old wooden sign appeared ahead. It was half-rotted, with pale green lichen clinging to it. Painted on the sign was Serena Lodge, "Welcome to Peace." But someone had slashed a thick red cross through the word peace. Alex said quietly, "Looks like this is it." Ryan frowned. "Mate, someone turned this piece into pieces." Victor tried to laugh, but his face betrayed unease. Alex turned the car in. The drive to the lodge was rutted with mud and tree roots. Towering Scots pines lined both sides with wisps of mist drifting down between them. When the wind gusted, the branches clashed, sounding like muffled whispers. Soon, the car pulled up before an ancient building. It was a 3-story stone structure. Ivy stringled the upper walls, and the window panes were half shattered. The main door was oak, dark and weathered, with an old iron frame. "This looks like the set of a horror flick," Victor murmured. Alex answered with a wry grin. "Mate, don't worry. We'll have to crash here tonight anyway." They stepped out. A blast of icy wind hit them. It was 8:30 p.m. The moon was veiled by clouds, and the silence was so complete that every sound echoed. Alex knocked on the door. Movement inside. The door creaked open, and an elderly caretaker appeared. His hair was white, eyes sunken, deep creases etched into his face. He stared at the 3 in silence for several seconds. Then, in a gravelly voice, he said, "3 rooms are free, but don't take the one upstairs." Alex smiled and asked, "Why, Granddad? Ghost up there?" The old man muttered. Whoever went upstairs never came down. The air turned colder. Ryan said nervously, "We'll take the downstairs ones." The old man nodded and shuffled inside. The 3 followed into the lodge. The air was damp and musty. Walls bore water stains, and a single old bulb swung from the ceiling, flickering yellow. The stairs were creaky wood. Each step groaned. Threadbare rugs covered the floor, giving off a faint, moldy odor. The 3 were given 2 rooms on the ground floor. Alex laughed. "Lads, if something's upstairs, why poke it?" Victor said, "Not a ghost, just damp." They unpacked, pulled out a camping stove, and set food on the table. Outside, light snow began to fall. Flakes settled on the windows, and gusts carried the cold deep into their bones. Around 10 p.m., they lit a fire. The main hall was cavernous. a stone hearth in the center, faded hunting prints on the walls, and a stopped clock. Flames licked at the logs, throwing eerie shadows across their faces. Victor cracked a beer and said, "Mate, imagine if something's really up there." Alex grinned. "If there is, we'll snap a pic. Video goes viral." Did he? The three laughed, then a thud from the floor above, like something heavy dropping. Silence. Victor looked up. "What was that?" Ryan said shakily, "Probably a fox." Moments later, the sound against low, deliberate footsteps. Alex grabbed a torch. "Let's have a look." Ryan protested. "You mad? Remember what the old man said?" But Alex was already climbing. The stairs groaned underfoot. Dust coated the walls. At the top, a long corridor, 4 doors, and at the far end, one ajar. Alex nudged it open. The room was pitch black. Only an old rocking chair swayed gently, as if someone had just risen. The three froze. Alex shone the torch. Nothing on the chair, just damp footprints on the floorboards. Victor whispered, "Alex, downstairs, now." The door slammed shut by itself. Ryan yelped. The torch died. Darkness, ragged breathing. Then a whisper from the wall. "Why did you come here?" They spun. The chair stilled, but behind it loomed a shadow, twisted, a black void where eyes should be. Alex shoulder charged the door, and they bolted down. Boards squealed beneath them. Downstairs, the caretaker had vanished. His walking stick lay on the table. Fresh blood drops dotted the floor. The hall now swam in yellowish haze. Victor trembled. Where'd the old man go? He was right here. Ryan stared at the floor. The blood drops were sliding toward the front door, as if dragged. The three exchanged glances, then followed the trail. They opened the door. Icy wind rushed in. Snow fell thick and fast. The moon glimmered, half revealed through cloud, and a long wooden porch stretched into darkness. The blood led across the porch to the rear yard, then a narrow path into the woods. Among the pines, the red trail vanished, leaving 3 unfamiliar prints in the snow, one large, 2 small, as if someone was hauling another. Alex said, "Back inside. Morning light." Ryan pleaded, but Alex paused, eyes scanning. "Remember, don't take the upstairs room." Whatever was up there took him. They retreated, barred the door with chairs. The lodge felt more menacing. Wind whistled through cracks. They huddled by the fire. The blizzard raged outside. Victor's voice shook. "If something's here, it won't let us leave." Ryan shut his eyes. "Quiet. Dawn will fix it." But another sound from above, not steps. Something dragged across boards. Alex murmured, "If it's up there, we need to know." Ryan shouted, "Lost it, have you?" Yet Alex took the torch and crept toward the stairs. Victor seized his arm. Not alone. Together, they ascended. Upstairs, darkness. Torch beams swept walls, gouged claw marks, old blood smears. The room still open, the rocking chair central. Now, a mirror faced it, filthy, streaked with fingerprints. Alex approached, saw himself then, 3 shadows behind. Victor's, Ryan's, and a third stranger. He whirled, no one. Victor and Ryan stood by the door. "What?" Victor asked. Alex stared. Someone was here. The bulb flickered. Wall cracks spidered outward. The mirror quivered. A hand thrust through long, decaying fingers, blood crusted under nails. They screamed. Alex hurled the torch. It spun, beam striking the wall. There stood the caretaker, face charred. He pointed downward, then melted into shadow. They fled downstairs. The front door refused to budge. Victor threw his weights till locked. Ryan glanced back. Footsteps descended slow, deliberate. Ryan yelled, "Who's there?" A voice from above. "The one with you 3. They turned. Not human. The mirror shadow, eyeless, smoky form, jerking as if bones snapped. Alex snatched a log, thrust it into the fire, hurled the flaming brand. Flames roared, but the thing advanced untouched. Closed now, its face resolved, the caretaker, smoke pouring from empty sockets. One word, upstairs, my corpse. Alex looked. Beside the stairs, a split wall revealed a frayed rope and a heap of bones. Ryan quaked. That's him. Air thickened. Wall scratches glowed. Pictures rattled. Windows shook. Snow blasted indoors. They ran. An ancient wireless crackled to life. Dial spinning. Another came today. None will leave. The back door swung open. Alex spotted a paraffin tin, flung it inside. Victor roared. Burn? It tended. Alex struck a match, tossed it. Fire erupted. The lodge blazed. They stumbled out. Then Ryan halted. Eyes vacant, face wrong. You two go. I stay. He turned. The shadow wore his face. Alex and Victor fled, glancing back. The lodge collapsed into ember. Yet, from a broken window, the black silhouette watched. Dawn broke. Villagers found Ash and two battered lads, Alex and Victor. Police logged, third male missing, presumed lost to fire. But when Alex woke, he whispered, he's still there, upstairs, and he was one of us. 2 years on, another traveler reached the Vale. A fresh sign stood, Serena Lodge, rooms available, and beneath, in red paint,